Euclid's Elements, Book 3, Proposition 25. Given a segment of a circle to describe the complete circle of which it is a segment. So we can have different sized segments, and Euclid envisions that we can have three basic kinds of segments. So here's a segment that is less than a semicircle, and here is a segment that we're going to see later is exactly a semicircle. And we can have a segment that is greater than a semicircle. And it'll look like this. So given any segment of a circle, we want to be able to describe the complete circle of which it is a segment. And to describe a circle, we're going to need two things. We're going to need the center of a circle, and we're going to need the radius. With those two things, we can describe the center of a circle. So that's what we're going to be finding in each of these cases. We're going to find the center of the circle and a radius, and then with that, we can sweep out the rest of the circle. So I'm going to do these simultaneously, at least for a bit, because the initial construction is the same. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bisect AC. And then at point D here. And then we're going to draw a perpendicular at D until it intersects the circle at B. Next, we're going to connect BA and all three. And then we're going to look at the relationship of this angle to this angle. And I hope you can see, so maybe we can label this. This is angle 1 and angle 2 in all three of these. And what we should be able to see is that in this one, angle 1 is greater than angle 2. Here, we're going to see that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. And here, pretty clear that angle 1 is less than angle 2. And those are the three situations that basically cover all the possibilities of a circle. So let's go back to this one here where angle B is larger than angle A. So if it's larger, we're going to construct an angle at A equal to the angle here at B. And so let it be this. So we're going to construct this angle equal to this angle. We can do that with Book 1, Prop 23, that allows us to make an angle equal to a given angle at any given point. Then we're going to extend BD together until it intersects here at E. Now let's look at this triangle. We have two angles that are equal, therefore we know it's an isosceles triangle, and we know from Book 1, 6, that if the base angles of an isosceles triangle are equal, then the legs are going to be equal. So AE is equal to BE. Now let's complete this circle here. I'm just going to move this over here just for a second. We know that this is a right angle. So if we look at these two triangles, ADE and CDE, they both have a right angle, and we know, because we bisected it, right, we know that this is equal to this, right? Remember when we bisected, we made all these things equal to each other. And we know that this portion of this triangle is in common. So we have side angle side equal to side angle side. So using Book 1, Prop 4, we can show that these triangles are equal, and more particularly that this base is equal to this base. So we're going to show that AE is equal to EC. But now this makes all three of these equal. So this is equal to this is equal to this. So if at this point E, using any one of these lengths, we describe a circle, this will sweep through this point, it'll sweep through this point. If we continue, it'll sweep around here and it'll complete our circle. Now we just have to prove that E is the center of the circle. And we can do that by looking at Book 3, Proposition 9. And that says that if we have three equal lengths coming from the circumference of a circle and intersecting, that point of intersection is the center. So therefore, E is the center because we have 3 equal lengths from the circumference intersecting at E. So we have found the center of the circle and we have a radius, and so we can describe the rest of the circle. And it's pretty clear that since E is outside of our original segment, that the segment here is less than a semicircle. Okay, now let's look at the situation where angle 1 equals angle 2. We already know that this is equal to this, and because these angles are equal, we can easily show that this leg is equal to this leg. Again, proposition 6. So we have AD is equal to DC, and AD is also equal to BD. So we have 3 equal lengths falling from the circumference, intersecting at this point. That means D is our center. And so from this point, we can sweep around and get the rest of the circle. I maybe have done that a little bit out, or maybe we should have swept around first, but then we can prove that D is the center because we have 3 equal lines intersecting, again, invoking 3, 9. And when this happens, we can see that D is actually on our segment, and therefore we had a perfect semicircle. So when E is outside the segment, it's less. When the center is on the semicircle, or on the segment, it's a semicircle. And then we're going to see over here in this case that our center is going to be inside our segment, and that's going to be, of course, greater than a semicircle. So we're going to do the same thing here. We know that this is equal to this. And since this angle is greater, or less than this, we're going to match. We're going to have an angle at A equal to this angle at B. Okay, and let it look like this. It doesn't quite look like that. Here we go, that's a little better. So now we're going to make this angle equal to this angle. It's better if we just kind of color block that. And because of that, we know that this is equal to this because they are subtending equal angles, prop 6. And now we can look at this figure, and we already know that these are right angles. This side is equal to this side, and this side here is in common. Therefore, this triangle is equal to this triangle, and in particular, this is equal to this, which is equal to this. And so if we take this point here, call it E, and we take any one of these lengths and we sweep it around, we will complete the circle. And we know that that's the center of the circle because we have 3 equal lines from the circumference intersecting at point E. So E is our center, and it's pretty clear that E is falling inside this segment. Therefore, that segment must be greater than a semicircle. So there we've done it. All 3 cases where we have different size segments. A segment less than a semicircle, equal to a semicircle, and greater than a semicircle. And in all cases, we have described the complete circle of which these segments are a part. And that concludes our proof. Since it's a construction proof, we conclude QEF.